I've been gone for a long time, but we are finally back after, life choices and life taking me on, the whole story and everything. Finally back, finally able to start, live streaming games again. And what better way to start it off with the Stanley Parable? Now I know the Stanley Parable, you guys are saying, wait, McNuggets, this game is so old, this game has been done time and time again, over and over again. But what makes me want to play this game tonight and wants to bring it back so bad? Well, the game has been updated. And when I say updated, and I mean updated, I so far has played through two scenarios of this game, and so far in the second scenario in the game, a lot of things have already been changed. I've played this game multiple times in the original form of what it was, and I have learned the layout of the game, every story ending, and everything else like that. So I thought I knew what I was getting into when I was getting into this game, playing it through. I thought, hey, it's finally on console, let's play it through. But no, I was completely wrong. By the second ending that I already got in this game, it already threw me for a loop. Um, I don't really know how to explain it, but one of the endings, it has Minecraft. It's originally supposed to have Minecraft in it, but instead of having Minecraft, it ended up having two completely different games in terms of Firewatch and then a whole other one that I wasn't too familiar with on the second game reference, but yeah. So, anywho, this is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, bringing it to you live tonight. Oh, and my fiance just told me the other game that they now add into this game is now Rocket League. Full graphics, same graphics, all of it. It is all the same. Had me speechless, had my fiance speechless in terms of all of it. So, without further ado, without me furthering babbling on and everything else, let me finally get into this game that I have played so much in the past, has been one of my top favorite games of all times, the Stanley Parable. But it is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. We're all in for a treat. So Stanley, let me start this out. Stanley is an office worker that sits at this computer right here, and he gets orders put in to hit a button every day and hits it all. One day the orders stopped coming through, and for hours he hasn't noticed, and then he finally noticed, and then he decides to get up, kind of thing. So this game is more or less, you're like um you're a slave to the work society of just being a robot, it seems like. And being an
All of his
actual,
co-workers were
oh,
gone. What could it mean?
okay, so
Stanley
we
decided to go to
restarted
the
it,
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
and we also have this narrator that can tell us what we should do. We don't have to listen to him. We can, we should, we shouldn't, we can, we can't. So
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So for the first playthrough, I guess we're gonna listen to him. We're gonna go through the left. All your curiosities of watching this, I will answer them by going through the other choices. So
Yet there was not a single person here either.
where is
Feeling
it?
a wave of disbelief,
What?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So in the new update, the table's even new. Like they actually even updated the table texture. It wasn't originally glass, but hold on. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. Oh, nope. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Which one is me though? Number of slides on the slide. Slides, charts, and slides. Yeah, that's not an.
Pretty balanced pie, I'd say.
rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphics per slide.
Like,
Rates more charts,
no
please.
more charts,
Begging.
begging.
The boss appreciation minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Oh my goodness. Solving, I can't read all this stuff. What?
Personal conflict.
Well, yeah, but still, read this, guys, and then get back to it. Pause it if you have to. What are your dreams for the future? Oh my goodness. Spring break, baby. Yeah, spring break. Come on, toes. Woo!
My toast.
Tips for getting fired. Talk less. Do.
For not getting fired.
Oh, for not getting fired. Oh shit.
Do unbelievably amazing work.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker.
Up inside you. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more.
Hold on, let me open up my whatchamacallit, my actual.
Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Are those auto sliding or was that? Oh, they are auto sliding.
Yes, they are auto sliding. I'm not doing any of this stuff. So let's see what we got. Yeah. Totally worth it. Ooh, the broom closet. This is a whole achievement on its own.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
So I'm just gonna set my controller down for a second. And
There was nothing here.
My
No
beverage.
choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Yep,
No
but
reason
I
to still
bet you
be
there's more
here.
to it. Don't listen to the narrator, guys. He's crazy. We should, but he's
It was
crazy.
baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Crazy.
He wasn't
huh?
even doing anything. At
He
least if there
doesn't
was
want
something
me to
interact
see
with, he'd
what
be
he doesn't want
justified
me
in
to
some
see.
way. As
He's
it
a
is,
narrator for
he's
a
literally
reason.
just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yeah. Ow.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Fuck
Standing
yeah, I
around doing
am.
nothing? Why?
Yeah.
Please offer me some
Because-
explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, you're hiding something in here, and you won't show it to me, so I'm gonna keep staying in here until you show it to
You
me.
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Boy.
Just because you don't mention it doesn't mean it's not important.
It's the broom
Maybe to you,
closet.
this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you
No,
go
this
talk
is-
about
this
with
is a
your
whole
friend, you'll say,
achievement on its
"Oh,
own."
did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
It is
I hope
my
your friends
favorite.
find this concerning.
Please. No. There is one of the endings where
Stanley
he does
was
that.
fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I told you, dude, he's an asshole. Excuse my
Well, I've come
French,
to a very
YouTube,
definite
but
conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
yeah.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. And in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby
Yeah.
so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Not yet. Not until you give me my trophy, guy. Come on.
This man must have been standing in the broom closet for a reason.
No, no, this is a whole achievement. Come on. I remember having to get this. Like, I had to stand in here for a minute. I'm almost to the boss's office, though, but... Come on. Did they remove it? I just had this up for comments when it pop up. But... Well, YouTube, what do you guys think? Should I leave the broom closet or stay in here? You think he'll say more or not? I need I need more feedback. Should I stay or should I leave? I mean,
you really had the chance to say, should I stay or should I go, and you didn't.
Yeah, I'm not giving royalty to that band.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they do got a sweet ass mop bucket here, but it's empty. So
You ever see that video of that?
Well,
New York subway
I'm getting told I should stay. So from what I remember, though, I thought it did give me an achievement. It might not though. It might not. I tell you what, I'll give it about like 30 more seconds. If he doesn't speak up again, I'll get going. But I could have sworn on the computer version I got a trophy for it, for staying in here, because he kept talking and been like, oh, broom closet ending. But no, for real, like already on the second ending, I thought it was going to be one ending, and they already changed it. So in terms of updating the game, they have changed it, and threw me for a loop.
Run through that ending, because that ending was so cool. They deserve to see it.
Yeah, so alright, he ain't gonna talk no more. I'm gonna end up going out.
Second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
So from here on out, he's gonna refer to me as a new guy, right?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're gonna defile that. Oh.
Why is it red? Red means scary. Go towards the red.
Yeah, no, that's all new in terms of the lighting. It's never been red before.
Nothing important.
Gotta be. That's never been down there before. Okay, so.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment, for no reason at all.
Pay
None
attention.
of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered
I
this,
came down
he
a
began to
stair
make
set.
other strange observations.
What?
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job.
What I love about this game is, like, it removes the whole attack features. It just leaves you to walk through it. So it's
boring real-life job pushing buttons.
It's just a whole story all on its own. Whatever choice you decide to make.
He imagined himself flying.
Sorry to talk over the narrator, but like.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me Thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all
Where do
very
I go?
odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take
I mean, this is like my
responsibility for
house in
himself?
terms of like a circle
Stanley
house,
is
but
as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
I'm so confused.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Well, I know this ending.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, this is new.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley.
Oh,
I have a
no,
boss. I have an
no.
office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Okay, no, this is all. I remember this.
And everything went black.
Yep, I remember this. This is
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like another.
for the people that are
She
just now
rose,
joining
got
in,
dressed, gathered her
this game
belongings,
is
and walked to
a
her
really
place of
big
work.
brain teaser.
But on this particular day,
You gotta
her
pay
walk was
attention,
interrupted
kind
by
of
the
thing.
body of a man
Hard to really
who had
explain.
stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
yeah.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
And no, like my
I
fiance
know
just
what
said,
is
it's a
real
better way to
and
explain
what
it,
isn't.
like a Dr. Seuss
It
story.
was comforting to think this.
Or
in
the
a certain
movies, how
way,
they
seeing
narrate
this man
and
made
stuff
her
like
feel
that.
better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career. And
So
by
we
extension,
have
the rest
totally,
of her
we have
life.
gotten down
She
a
had no
total
time
of
for this,
3 endings.
So it was
I
only a
don't
moment
know.
that she stood there, staring down
I
at the
don't
body.
know how many endings
And then she turned
there
and
are
ran.
altogether, but we're gonna try to get a lot of the endings done tonight. In terms of these endings, it all depends on the choices you make in terms of the paths that you walk. They've obviously, a lot of the endings are obviously going to be the same for the people who have watched the Stanley Parable before, but there are a few things that are different, and they do say in the update that there is a lot more to be discovered. So I've already discovered 2 new things on top of this stuff from playing this way back in the day and completing it way back in the day back on computer. But no, what I am glad for is that they finally brought it to council. I'm able to, you know, share it to council and
All
everything
of his
like that.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
But the first
Stanley
ending I
decided
got
to go to the meeting
was
room.
the
Perhaps he had
whole
simply missed a memo.
going out the
No
window
matter
one
how
on
hard
this.
Stanley looked, he couldn't
I
find a
can't
trace of his
I can't
co-workers.
can't really show you guys right now, because if I was to restart it, I'd have to restart the storyline, and it would nerf the progress I have made so far on certain endings for the other 2 endings I have already made. That being said, though, I have made the one jumping out of this window and having to restart and knocking on 430. prior to starting the live stream. Those were the 2 endings I have done, and then we have just done the crazy ending. So now we are going to keep going on. Look at these computers. There's another one here. Once we get all these clicked, I forget. There's something in the boss's office. Oh, new content.
It's a whole door.
It's a whole door.
It's a whole door.
But the storyline. Should we go to the new content, or should we go? Yeah.
Yes, new content 100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
New content? What does that mean? New content.
They still have the same voice actor. Okay. All right.
They said we gotta bring it back.
No, let's see what's going on. This wasn't up before when I went to the doors and everything. Oh.
Oh yes, loading. Put
Right.
us in another game.
But hold on. Let's see what. Whoa. This is all new.
Oh, it's like a little factory.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Whoa.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
So, as they just said, this is all new. There's a lot more new content to all this
Nothing
stuff.
special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a
That's a nice
mesmerizing
texture.
adventure.
Some ultra deluxe textures up in this elevator.
No, with that being said, though, it is all new.
Is it broken?
So,
What's going on here?
Hold on.
Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right, finally,
Yeah,
at long
don't worry
last,
about it,
it's
guy.
on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I feel like for them to
Actually, a cave.
no, for them to introduce new content,
Hmm.
it's weird that they decided to add it
initial
in
impressions
mid-game.
of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe mostly tedious. It's as if them.
I'm thoroughly
Oh,
convinced. Like,
okay.
this elevator
Let's see
just
the
looks
content.
like
Give me the content, Stanley.
Sure, this game should have turned into a horror game.
But no, but like he said, give me the content, like.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh my God, we can jump! Oh, we can fucking jump! Oh, demonetize me, I don't care.
Wait, look at your jumps. How many jumps do you have? Jumps, you have a limited amount of jumps. You can only jump in the jump circle.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
They said we'll give them jumps, but only a limited amount. No
Should I use them all, or should I? But like, I feel like if I use them all, I feel like it's gonna have to. Screw it, we're gonna. Yeah! Woo! Oh my God, we can jump! We can jump now. This is game changing. Okay, it was a. No more jumps. No more. Come on! Alright, no more jumps. Fine. I guess, new content.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's gotta be something else. Like, they obviously had to jump. Oh, so,
Another elevator. Stanley,
am I going
have to
room
say,
for room to see the
initial
new
impressions
content?
of
Like, I
this
can
game
jump
are not
now
positive.
and
It's just
roll, I
elevators
can
and
battle
jumping.
people.
Is this what passes for exciting new
It's a
content?
mid-game
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, There's more. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, guy.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
I would have
Ready
been
for
fine
whatever
with
it is.
jumping. I would have been fine with just the jumping thing because why is there? Okay, this is supposed to be an office setting, but like,
If that shit starts spinning when you get in the middle, I'm gonna throw up.
no,
It's like that Halloween thing.
fun houses and
Yeah,
stuff.
like the funhouse thing.
Hold on. Thank you for
That's
enjoying
it?
the new.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it.
Thank
In
you!
fact, I'm looking right now at
Finally!
the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up
It
too
is.
much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such
You
expectations.
sold me on the new
If you're still with
content.
me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what
Don't
the
you
Stanley
freaking
Parable
dare!
is really about.
Don't!
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do
I left
say,
you
friend?
years ago! No!
So, like, when do we actually get to meet the narrator? That would be hilarious.
Honestly, that would be pretty. That would actually be a good idea. Like, actually meeting the narrator
Like,
in terms
pulling
of.
back the curtain and there's the narrator. Come on, it'd be hilarious. Good ending.
It's different. It's different. It's different. Okay, we got a whole different starting point. This is good. Nothing on the answering machine. Nothing to pick up. Yeah, I gotta check all of it.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Should I go in the vent or should I go?
Do them both.
Well, alright. Well, I can't do them both things, kind of thing. But like, I don't know. But I gotta use the bathroom too. So alright, I'm gonna let my fiance pick the choice to either go through the vents or go up the stairs. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So we're gonna take a random pick. To crouch is left trigger. Have fun.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm gonna take over. Okay, I'm in control now. Let's see. So there's light over there, but there's also probably a fan this way. But listen to the narrator or don't listen to the narrator? That is the question. I think we listen. I'm the one who says we should listen to the narrator, so. What is that? A cup and a screwdriver. Can I stand right here? Oh, don't want to get sucked up there. And we fall. I love falling in this game.
What'd you pick?
Guess you'll never know. Have to watch the live stream. I went through the vent.
You went through the vent?
Yeah, of course I did.
What happened? Okay, so this is all new. I don't know what's
You
going
remember
on
how
also.
cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So
It
I
used to
made
be.
something special and tucked it away here where the
what
game's
clip is?
developers
Like,
won't
no.
find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Hold on, guys. There you go. I want to take a look. This is all new. I am not familiar with any of this, so. Very Dark Souls like.
What game is this? They're bringing in another game.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you
I
of how
was
wonderful
15
Stanley
years
Parable
old when I
was
first
before
started
it was
playing
sullied
this.
with a cheap
For
PlayStation
real.
port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Facts.
No, he's right. He's right though. Like video games did mean something back then. Video games had story. Video games had like their own style to it and everything else. And
Now people just be releasing the same game
it
over and over.
it
and
really
over.
is like that. It really is. All games seem like they're just a wish wash of the last stuff before it, and
That's why we love the Stanley Parable.
for them to add onto it and actually like be aware that the games are just all repeats nowadays, it's I guess you could say I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. I'm glad that, you know, a game like this didn't go down the drains on the updates. Smile because it happened. The Stanley Parable.
Yo, why is the memory house like a freaking live, laugh, love place? Oh, they got a picture of the first dollar. That's adorable.
I know, but
How cute.
the Stanley Parable demonstration, that was the demo. That was the first demo.
Did you play that too? I know you played like the beta and stuff.
I played the beta and stuff. That was when the whole rooms when I told you it was the original and
Oh,
for
okay,
it.
okay.
That was when it first started out. Unachievable. It is impossible. I believe this is the 10-year achievement one, and the first person was actually able to get it. I still have, I think, 2 more years to go until I can actually get this one on the PC,
That would be
and then go outside.
play for 5 years.
Yeah, this is a 5 years one, and then this one I believe is a 10-year one, unachievable. I already got this one, the go outside one, on the PC. But yeah. So this game's gonna, since I started on PS4, I have to go 15 years or 10 years total. But 5 years, I gotta log back in on this date to get the go outside one, and then 10 years from now, I gotta get this one, the unachievable. So.
What a way to ensure player base.
Well, no,
Take
like
over
that's what I'm
years.
saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
So smart.
it came out in 2013, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of people, like the first person just started getting the first achievement. Like it became public in 2013, but it was in beta prior to that. So,
Okay, so the people who played beta are not just now getting that achievement.
yep.
They said we'll play the beta and we'll never play it again just to get that achievement.
Yes. The Stanley Parable is more or less about life.
You can't speed run 100%.
New video game releasing today.
Creator surprisingly down to earth. Aw, did you read the little? That was cute.
All the awards he gotten.
Aw.
Honestly,
Why is this adorable?
it really is. The Stanley Parable deals tough choices.
It did though. It did.
It still does. Like, it feels like I'm completing the game right now. Like, this is the actual ending that should have happened in terms of like a memory. Like, this is coming back to an old memory that was let down and forgotten about. And this is a closure that I felt like we should have gotten.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I call it a lifeless husk. Like, this game would always...
Mocking new games that release DLC, that's bullshit. That's what this is.
Well, yeah, but
that's
like...
hilarious.
No, in terms of in terms of being an empty husk, I get what they mean when they say it. Like, the game was forgotten. Yes, but this is a game that will always be a staple in terms of my memory that has really developed my love for certain games that have amazing storyline and everything else. And here we're met with another choice, whether to go down or up. And I feel like the downside is where I want to go.
Alright, change the topic real quick. Can I be honest? Genuine opinion. Coca-Cola Starlight is ass. Doesn't taste good.
I'll drink.
Watered down Coca-Cola.
It's not watered down Coca-Cola. It's like vanilla Coke.
It's like watered down though.
Okay, but
Fight me, chat.
I only got 2 people watching right now. Nothing too crazy.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Dude, he's going in. Why is he spitting facts right now?
Well, no, because he's right.
Most games, though.
Well, this is what they do to a lot of games. Is they take it, and they could have just taken the game on how it was.
You just improved it a little, like...
And,
Then they go and add random bullshit, like stuff that's unnecessary. Let us in the room. Let us in the room.
yeah, let us in. What am I missing here?
Why does that feel like it's gonna add something? Is there a room across the way from what's in the other room? What's in the room across the way? The serious room. Why is that called the serious room?
In here?
Yeah, look. Like, go closer. The serious room. 2013. What's the other room called?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Why am I slowly looking around the corner like there's gonna be a jump scare?
No, nothing like that.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years.
Steam.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Steam reviews. They couldn't call... Something had to have happened with them in Steam.
Yeah, what happened between the... Who at Steam bit them in the ass, bro? What's going on? They got some beef.
I don't know. I feel like I should probably look into it more, but too lazy
Yeah,
to.
what's going on?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh my god, there's so many. hate the game this much originally, really?
It's mixed.
They gotta be over exaggerating this. It's ridiculous.
No, it's mixed and mixed. Like, obviously they're gonna be honest about it, you know? Thunder really is...
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, like, it's... I'm already going through the whole new content and everything. Like, I played this game and then coming back to it and then being brought right into this mid-game, it's like, it's kind of... I don't want to say heart-wrenching, but like, it's emotional in terms of like a game I played in the past and then coming back to it. For a game to be self-aware in terms of saying that, like, hey, it's been a long time, we've gotten reviews, and they're actually even going over the reviews themselves. It's...
Oh, what's this one in the water?
It is emotional. I'm gonna be honest.
What's
it's
this
like...
one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay, narrator. No, he's beating himself up, and I don't know why.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time, everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time, everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. Got the logic of elimination. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording.
Did Cookie
perhaps.
9? Did you watch
To be
Cookie
honest,
9's thing?
I
Is that
don't
what
even
you
know
did?
if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh my god.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room.
We're gonna do
the
it!
door is gone. It's complete. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Don't you dare
I've been
hit that
sitting
button
here
again. I'm
all
so
that
sad.
time. Just...
We're doing it again!
Oh.
Woo! Let's run it again.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Door's
I
gone.
stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the...
Button. Yo, that last one was a whole year, bro.
He's gone. He's gone.
Bro, he fucking died. We fucking killed him.
Clock's gone. Clock fell off the wall.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It was...
What? No, that one was good. Oh. Dude, I'm gonna cry. This hurts me.
Oh my goodness, this is massive. This is new, like...
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Welcome.
More keeps happening, let's keep seeing what's happening. Well, it's daylight now. happened to the narrator? This is so weird. For a Stanley Parable.
So, hold on. So, did this game connect Rocket? What were the other games?
Firewatch.
Rocket League, Firewatch, and the Stanley Parable all in the same game?
It also connected Minecraft years ago, so technically they're all in the same universe.
That's amazing.
But on this note, let's see what happens.
Sad.
Maybe we hit a point where everything starts going back. Kind of creepy.
Really fucking creepy. What do you mean?
Come on.
I don't like that. Button, please. Shit is knocked over. What is it? Back in the hole. Back in the hole. Hit the button. Come on, button.
Well,
Yo, time to start walking.
come on. Why can't I climb it?
Climb on top. Can't climb on top.
So I guess we'll keep going forward then, since I can't. Okay.
Well. Weird transition, but alright.
I wonder what happened.
You died immediately. The oxygen was toxic.
Probably. Died out. So it just restarted. Okay. So now we got a new one.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
New content.
Bro, are you kidding me? That was not there before.
Us in the freaking elevator.
But the main story, but yeah, the neon signs. I'm obviously gonna go to the new content, the new content. But like, we were already in the store. Fine.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yes, I
have
noticed your
something very
sign.
exciting to show you.
Oh my goodness, guy, you better be good. It better be freaking good. That's all I'm saying. Or I'm gonna report you to Triple B or whatever it is.
The Better Business. Record a video game.
I was here. This isn't new content. You're lying.
Elevator. Up the elevator.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original
I
Stanley
haven't even
was
learned it yet.
and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Honestly.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
He's right, though. He is right. This is what I've been waiting for. A second one.
I take the red color.
24/7. 42/7. He's actually, normally the narrator's annoying, but he's right on this one. Like,
Calling
imagine.
it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
This is like all like super duper nice. Like, this is an even nicer office. I could see it being a Stanley Parable 2. This is all new to me.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but
Me
let's
neither,
take a look
but-
at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Is it though?
Anytime I see those red ropes set up like that, I think of the
Shrek scene?
yeah, the Shrek
Where he
scene
just
where
walks
he's
straight
just
through.
running right through it.
Honestly, the Stanley Parable 2 would be awesome.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I hope one of the features is letting me leave.
Please let me leave.
I hope that's one of the features, because in the Stanley Parable 1, you kept me hostage.
Merch. They have merch in the game.
Okay, I like to wear... No, for real, I'd like to wear a shirt during the game. Like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. I'm in the Stanley Parable 2. They even got chairs.
But what's up the stairs?
I feel like that's progression.
Please, no screenshots.
That's Stanley. I've never seen his face.
He is a sim. That is a sim.
Nope.
From The Sims 2.
That is Stanley.
Well, you know what? Maybe going through that door is progression.
Okay, I'll be honest, I
No!
haven't yet decided
That's
on
what I
this one.
thought.
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
Do I have a... Oh.
Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie's. Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
I'm trying.
Get Well Someday it is.
I like how they gave the other balloons up.
That's funny.
Get well someday. What?
He picked the one you didn't pick. He was like, sometimes when someone else makes a decision, you realize which one you actually wanted. Like, someone else
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Why? This game.
actually
I'm
annoys you.
mad.
It annoys
I'm mad.
you.
I'm not. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't. Okay, it bothers me a lot, kind of thing. Like, what is
He
this?
really asked for your opinion and then didn't use it.
No, just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Oh, there's the jump circle.
I got no more
You
jumps.
know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Not jump the whole.
Oh, well.
I told
I
you!
suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
That's heartbreaking.
No,
Done it in this cool little fancy area.
no jumping for me. Walk with my head down.
That's so depressing. Go up the stairs.
Not yet. I want to see all the new things. Collectibles. Collectibles!
Free, new, and easy trophy.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Nope. Nope. That's scary.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
God damn, it was so simple and easy. Wasn't that hard?
Nothing.
I don't know. Sounds like it's built
What
in.
else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Look, there's a map. There's a fucking map. This map, free trophy. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. B2. So let's go to B2. The button that says the name of the game player. That sounds scary. Dude, if it says job. I think I lose my mind. Setting world champion, Stanley Parable,
I don't know.
reassurance bucket, office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole, exit.
S. This map. Fuck.
That's a 5, I think.
Oh, that's an S.
Nope, that's definitely a 5.
Alright, definitely a 5 then. Q is free trophy, so where is Q?
We were just at Q.
So the free trophy is to the bottom right. Bottom right terms of... That means... Where'd you tell me to go? For the...
B.
B for what? B2?
No, just B. I think just B.
No, B squared.
Nah, B squared is the reassurance bucket.
What do?
B.
The button that says the name of the player. Where is B?
Behind whatever wall is right over your left.
But where was the free trophy again?
The thing we were just at.
Okay, well what is the free trophy label on this? Q?
Yes.
So
You need to go to the left.
I need to go to the right because the free trophy's to my left. Anyhow, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Just wanna try
I'll
to
get us
find it.
there.
Find it.
I will get us there, don't even worry.
I want him to say McNuggets.
Sure. I gotta look back at the map. So if I'm right there, and there is I'm literally right. It's this way. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. I was right. I'm scared.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Yes, I
Isn't
did.
that wonderful?
Here you go.
Let's see it.
I did find it. I did. Here, you can have the.
So
But I want to press the button. Can I press the button?
press the button. X.
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 Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
No, I am Jim.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Let him finish it. Listen.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim,
I know.
and finally dying a slow death at an
funny
old
'cause
age,
my old
surrounded
boss's
by
name
members
was
of your
Jim.
cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Dude, I gotta like.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
This is funny.
It'll be on the YouTube.
Oh my god, this is literally hilarious.
Alright,
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush!
was.
That was you! The button
was.
described you. Do it again, do it again.
do it again. I'm Jim.
Jim.
Oh
It's
yeah!
even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
It would
Let's
be.
take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Here, take the controls back.
Apparently the Jim button has drained my fiance as well. She found the button that says the name. She came all the way up here.
Hey, listen, I worked damn hard to find that button.
Too big, too small, just right.
You know, wait, look up. You can build this in Minecraft. It's just a bit.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Only let people named Jim.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Those stairs.
I know, but
Reassurance bucket.
I'm looking around.
Jeez.
I'm looking around. I'm finding new things. There's a lot more going on in this game.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't like how that music was slowing down there.
Should we take the leap of faith?
Do it.
Or Or should we go up the stairs?
Yeah. Can we go up the bucket? We gotta go
Hold
up
on,
the
hold
insurance
on.
bucket. Please.
Okay, so Justin Miller's saying this is fair. You want to go up the stairs? We'll go up the stairs. We'll come back to the hole. I feel like if I was to go in the hole, it'd be something I'd have to restart and get back to this point.
Go to the bucket.
What bucket?
The reassurance bucket up the stairs.
Oh.
That's the one area you haven't gone to yet. Please.
So, yeah, I'll go to it, hon. Just hold on. We didn't go down that one room either, so...
Yeah, we have to go through both of them.
We got 3 possible choices to choose from here, so
Reassurance bucket.
we're going through. We'll go check out the reassurance bucket. I felt like this might have been a path to continue, so I held off.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was
Exactly.
confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Where is it?
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Give me the bucket! Come on! I want the bucket! Bucket, bucket, bucket!
Than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All
They
this
do.
and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Am I just gonna hold on to the bucket for the whole game then, or what? Come on. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Damn.
Oh, there's people surrounding it. I'm scared. Oh, nice.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Huh. What's up here?
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, we didn't fall down a hole, but like...
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not
I
exactly
didn't even get to
clear
go down
yet
the
how
hole!
exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
What's going
Are you
on,
ready?
dude? Like,
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Version 2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait.
True.
Maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh my goodness. I think I messed up on the storyline.
You goof.
Well, what?
Yo, dog, did you just unlock the whole new fucking game?
What? What?
Yo, settings and everything. Yo.
What? I'm so
What game are
confused.
we playing?
I'm so confused right now. Like, the Stanley Parable was a game all on its own that had a lot loaded up on its own, but like, this is even giving me a whole new like boot.
This
What?
is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building
balloons!
where he was
The
employee
balloons!
number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
Wait
He
a
sat at his
second,
desk in
what?
room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to
No,
him
it
through a
shouldn't be,
monitor
but
on
like,
his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what
in
order.
terms of the Stanley
This is
Parable,
what employee
they're actually
427
like
did
playing it
every
in
day,
terms of
every
continuing
month,
it,
of
which I
every
really
year.
like.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
This is how it originally started out.
Stanley was happy.
Yeah, that's how
And
the
then one
first one
day,
started
something
out.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
No.
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Everything's fine. But we got the balloons now. Should I play it normal?
Is that the bucket?
Where?
Look, the bucket.
What?
Pick up the bucket. It's on the stand right there. The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, the bucket.
Am I supposed to just follow the storyline now, or
I don't know, but we got the bucket, so it's all gonna be alright.
new content's not coming through anymore?
In the new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Something's not right here.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. The boss is...
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows
Okay,
I've
but
tried.
in the Stanley
So,
Parable,
I
the
implore
original
you
one,
to
you had to do a
savor
whole bunch of
each
stuff
and
to
every
unlock the
moment you
bathroom.
come across one of
That's
these
the reason
beautiful
why
figurines.
when I could unlock it, it's...
Like, oh shit, it just opened.
Yeah, it's not supposed to just open. A lot of stuff has changed in terms of the whole storyline. And Stanley Parable. Yep, there's another one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
If you keep guessing it wrong, it'll
But Stanley
automatically
guessed the
give it to you.
correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Whoa.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Never got
this
this
is
dark
certainly
in
the
the
most
game.
logical explanation.
Spooky, press that button. Press that button. Spooky. Yes. Elevator, bro. Ooh, love an
Oh.
elevator. Loading.
That's weird.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be
Where are we
all
gonna
Stanley
go?
could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh my goodness.
Everything will not be fine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Or we could follow the blood that says escape.
Yeah, but we've already followed the storyline so far with the bucket.
Fine. Follow it with the bucket.
We're gonna do the full storyline with the bucket because
We have the bucket.
we have the bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
The whole bucket thing's new, by the way.
You're a bucket.
But I think once we get to this ending, I'm gonna probably end it tonight.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Oh, everything will be fine, hopefully. We're gonna see what everyone's up to, what the boss man has been up to this whole time.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the
Was
bucket
it?
been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble
We're
mind.
gonna find out.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
It won't.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Turn it off. On this
Stanley
note,
and the
though,
bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
I think I'm gonna end it after
Yes,
this ending.
they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to
Is it gonna
learn to
be
roller
permanently
skate.
Stanley
Stanley wanted
Parable
to sneeze
2,
in
though?
every country on Earth.
Now that
Both of them wanted to
I
begin
have
watching a movie,
gotten
any
so
movie,
far in the
but then
dialogue
stop
in
it
terms of
halfway
the
through
DLC
and begin
everything
watching
with
it in
that.
reverse from the end. True, it was
Will
a
I
simple
hold the
life they
bucket?
envisioned, but it was one
Yeah,
they'd lived
will I hold the
together,
bucket for
with
every
one
choice
another
I
to
make
lean
from here on
to
out?
trust, to support.
I would like to, but
What? Wait.
the bucket
What was
never.
happening? Why had the door stopped?
Wait a
Was
sec.
Stanley
What?
and the bucket not about to be freed?
Hold on.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the
Whoa.
soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley
What?
realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Whoa. So, normally it's supposed to end out peacefully and everything and all that way. And he's just supposed to walk out on that ending. This whole Stanley Parable of him leaving. I'm still in the Stanley Parable too. The balloons are still up. So on this note of...
But is the bucket still there?
On this note, I'm going to do one more ending. I'm going to give us the ending. And on this note to end it, I'm going to close the door and we're just going to call it the day.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
We
What if he had
cannot.
to make a decision?
Can't handle
What if
the
a
pressure
crucial
no more,
outcome fell
guys.
under his
And for that note,
responsibility?
I'm gonna end it
He had
tonight.
never been trained for that.
I
No.
appreciate everyone who
This
has come to
couldn't go
watch,
anywhere except badly.
comment.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
Yep.
Nothing will hurt me.
We're going to
Nothing will
wait
break
until
me.
next time.
In here I can be happy forever.
Yep.
I will be happy.
Yes,
Stanley
we will.
waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
We got the extra bonus ending tonight. I wanted to give you guys that at least before I ended it tonight. Well, thank you guys again. I appreciate it so much for coming back to my live stream, for being hiatus for so long. But I do plan on continuing the Stanley Parable. We're gonna try to hit every possible ending and every possible new ending on this too. Obviously there's a lot that is new. There's a lot that is different now. So in terms of games that people have played before that they think they know and the layout and everything and where everything's laid out, the Stanley Parable has taken that whole mindset and flipped it all on its head. Everything we thought we knew on how the endings would end up are completely different. For a game, this game is incredible. Has always been incredible in terms of the originalness, the thought process, the dialogue, the choices, and everything all on top of it. They all pile in to create such a masterpiece. And then coming back from 2013 when the game first came out and playing it, and it was so incredible in terms of the choices and dialogue, to where we come back to 2020 or 2021, 2022 today, and we come back to play it now with this new additional content, and I just gotta say, it is still keeping me on edge. It's still keeping me on my toes, on edge. It's keeping me like, I'm wanting to find out what happens next. I thought I knew how the game was laid out, and for every game that is normally laid out, and when they remaster it and add more stuff, the game's normally laid out the exact same way. And for this case, it's not the same, and that has really been a huge impression point for me. I'm really happy with the fact that a lot of the so far, a lot of the outcomes of the choices have been different in terms of it. So great game with the Stanley Parable, great game with the developers and everything like that. I recommend giving it a try if you can. It's just a game that I will always keep cherished close to me, and I hope to keep coming back to this, and we'll get every ending with it. So thank you guys again. Hope you guys have a wonderful night and enjoy.